outside of the movies, I will say, your boy finally did it.
What?
He finally caught up. All 1,122 episodes. The
One
second half
Piece.
of the
There we
Moon
go.
Pod piece.
The Moo Pod piece.
Yo,
We
how do
out
you
here.
feel? Yo, you did it, man. You
made it through
finished the
One Piece.
marathon.
This
This is bigger than the New York City Marathon. Just
First of
for
all,
you
how
out
long
there.
did it take you?
Let's get to your backstory. How'd you get into
Who
starting One
are
Piece?
you?
Well, no, like how'd you get into One Piece? How was the journey? How long did it take you? Give us the whole rundown.
So, about like a year and a half ago, like I want to say like March, one of my friends was like, "Hey, I do like a lot of anime, like podcast video things. I'm the real Croc. It's me."
well, we didn't have a podcast. The podcast didn't exist yet.
But he was like doing his like own like little video things.
YouTube channel.
And he's like, I'm gonna play this like One Piece card game. It just came out. I'm gonna buy a box, whatever. So one time we were hanging out. He's like, "Yo,
Tell
like,
the real story. You know I didn't. You know it's I.
no, I'm telling the real story." And then like we were hanging out, and I was like, "Yo, like it looks kind of cool. Maybe we should like." He's like, "Oh, let's go buy a box." So I bought a box, set 2. In that box, I'll never forget because you were there for that.
Oh, you
In,
doing
like,
a horrible job at
one
this story,
pa-
man. You get me mad.
No, go
Let him
ahead, say
tell
it.
Well, no,
say it,
because
say
you
it.
got to get into like the Smith and Walensky part, like
Oh,
that.
we
You got to
going
really.
deep.
I'm saying, like, you got to hear like how funny it is, why he's getting. Because I texted you earlier, like the week before, like, hey, like a couple of us are trying to start to play this card game.
Oh
If you want to
God.
hop in,
Wait.
and
right.
bro was not having it.
Let me-
He
let
was
me-
like,
"All right, I'll go back."
that's what I'm
then.
saying.
All
It's
right. I thought we were skimming that part.
nah.
So I'll go weeks before that. We're all at a restaurant, Smith and Walensky's New York institution. We're all getting lit. Homie's like, "Oh, I'm gonna play One Piece," and everyone around us is like, "Oh, card games, that's cool." And I'm like, "Guys, card games? We're grown men now, all right? We got jobs. We've got some of us wives, fiancés.
Oh, you want to say the real reason, the real problem you have? You're addicted.
Yeah,
You
I
have
was
an
like,
addictive personality.
I was like, I don't think I can do it because I got an addictive personality, but also like, you know, like look at Pokemon cards. Like there's a lot of, you buy a lot of cards and they look lit and then like you find out.
So I
it's
play
worth
Hearthstone.
Yeah, I play Hearthstone, you know? So finally one day we're like looking at the game. We watched the YouTube video, like how to play. And I was like, all right, let's buy some cards. Let's just play it. Let's, it looks fun.
Because Andrew convinced you more than me. I
Andrew
didn't convince
did.
you.
Andrew did.
I didn't convince you.
It was me, Andrew, Sean, Corey, us just like chilling. Andrea was there and she was
Yeah.
like,
I want peace. I don't know about that.
Andrew finessed you because he took you to get Korean barbecue, and then
that's what happened.
and then he was talking to you about like, hey,
Yeah.
you should, because Andrew started playing before watching
Yes.
too.
Okay.
He just wanted to play a card game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because Andrew did it, and Andrew to me is like, he's like the voice of reason. Corey is like the guy who's like really excited in One Piece, and he's like, I don't care if you do it, but like you will hurt if you don't do it.
Oh.
Andrew's like, listen, man, it's fun. That's what he said. He was like, it's fun. I'm like, all right, bet. So I bought a box, and I'm like, okay, this is fun. We'll just like get a box. It's fine. What happens? Corey's at my apartment. One pack. Open it immediately. Alt art like
Super
Smoker.
rare card.
smoker.
Yeah, smoker leader.
But not. It was the leader,
Wow.
and we were
you
like
got in during OPO2.
OPO2.
The start of OPO2.
Right. So not only like did I pull like that set's like new leader, like the most exciting leader of that set, alt leader. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Second box, alt character smoker card.
Yeah.
And I was like,
So is that
I'm
another
hooked.
super rare card?
it's another super rare card. I'm like, I'm hooked. These cards look really great. And
Okay.
of course, I played Smoker, which was not a very strong meta in the deck in the meta. But anyways, I was like, bet I'm gonna make a deck out of this. We ended up like buying more cards. Me and Corey would play. Me and Andrew would play. We got Sean to play, and like then it became a thing. Then we just started playing. We started going to locals.
Still not watching One Piece.
Not even watching.
Okay.
I like the cards. And I'm the again addictive personality of
Yep.
collecting, but also I'm a min-max type of person. Like I like to figure out what's like the minimal effort to get as good as I can. You
Okay.
know, like, I don't want to just like half-ass this game. I want to be good at this game. So I go online doing the research, and then I'm like, all right, maybe if I watch the show I'm gonna unlock strategies.
Ah.
Because like I don't want to keep playing like
The
Smoker and what's Tashigi, like, you know,
Tashigi.
He doesn't know how to say the names.
like
He doesn't-
Luffy, like Yusuf,
Yeah.
like what is this?
like you understood the meta, but
Yeah.
you were like, because shockingly, knowing the lore does help you be
It
better. At
does.
the
Yeah,
meta.
exactly.
And
No,
this-
you know who plays well
Right,
together.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Because they have different like abilities and types. Like then after I started watching, and then I didn't even get up to like Law, but like I started seeing his abilities, and then I did some cheating and went on YouTube like, what's Law? What is he about? And his shambles ability, like, wait, that's really cool. In the card game, he has like a shambles ability. They don't call it shambles,
Okay.
but it's an ability where you can bounce characters back. And I'm like, oh, that's it. And then I shifted over. I actually started winning more things. And it made me feel like, oh, like this is cool. So the art was cool in the cards. Started watching the show. Then I was like, okay, wait, this is kind of cute. It's from the 90s. It's cute. It's giving me like nostalgia vibes. I'm going to keep watching it. It wasn't until like, I want to say, once we get into Alabasta that I'm like, all right, I'm hooked. Actually, really the moment
The 100s.
Luffy put the hat on Nami, and I'm like, okay,
It's
all right.
That's
we're-
episode.
we're
That's
here.
30.
That's 30. And that's what I tell my friends. Like, I'm not going to force you to be like, yo, you got to watch 1,000 episodes. It's like, listen, do me a favor, get to 30. If you can get to 30 and you're like, I'm in, then it's great. And if you can't,
it's not for
God
you.
bless. God
Yeah.
bless.
Yeah.
And even that, some of my friends are like, bro, I got to watch 30 episodes to get into this. And I'm like, honestly, it's the price you pay for some of the best storytelling that I've ever seen in any medium.
There we go.
And again, I say this with a caveat because while it's some of the best storytelling, then there's a lot of just like periods of just like, what are we doing here, guys?
Dilla.
Wait, did you watch filler?
No, like I so
He just means the
people-
anime
well,
pacing.
people did like, oh, Izzy, like watch One Piece and skip the no. I was like, I'm gonna be a purist.
Raw dog in this.
Raw dog in. I watched all of Fishman arc. It was a lot. But again, and I think what was really tough about that was I just finished like Water 7, Impel Down. Like someone literally the best storytelling, not just in anime, but just in general. And I'm just like, man, like I hope that the juice is worth the squeeze. Finally got to the thousands. Like Wano arc, Roof Piece. Now, we out here for
Well, you have
Tier
your
5.
issues with Wano.
I did,
Which
but
you
I-
can
but, I,
say-
but I still had a lot of fun. Like the animation, like was beyond. Like it almost felt like a brand new show, honestly.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, there was some pacing issues, and there were a lot of like they were throwing a lot of characters at you all at once, and you're like, this is cool. And to be honest, it helped that I played the game because I'm like, they didn't really do a good job explaining this character, but I remember from the game his abilities. So I'm
Okay.
like, all right.
You had an easier time remembering characters and their names because of the card game. Because you
Exactly.
see all these cards, and by the time you get in the anime, you're like, know who that is already.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
So then and then like got into Eggman, which again, same thing. I'm like, this is fantastic. Literally on the way here, saw the very last episode so far within
11:22, yeah.
11:22, and man, Kobe.
So, and you got to experience the live action during this journey too when it
Oh,
came
and
out
then
too.
yes, and then because we were all in One Piece, I wasn't caught up obviously, but then the live action dropped. We all went to Corey's, watching like the first few episodes, went back to my place and finished the series and kept rewatching it. Got other people on it. Beautifully done. Again, for people who've never seen One Piece, a lot of my friends who've like watched the live action were like, oh, this is pretty cool. This is what kind of got them into it. But yeah, I will say the game itself is just really good as a game. I've had friends who got into it who don't watch the anime or read the anime, but they like the art, they like the gameplay. And then I have a lot of friends who are like, oh, like I like the anime, now I play the game. Because there's a lot of people who like watch anime. Like people watch Dragon Ball Z. No one's playing the card game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people love other animes. They're not necessarily playing Union Arena for like the different like Hunter x Hunter
Yeah.
collaborations and stuff. I will say they're dropping a Yu Yu Hakusho one. So
Yu Yu Hakusho what?
oh,
Bro face looks like
so they're playing. So you ever heard of Union Arena?
No.
Union Arena is a card game that Bandai made where each different set is a different anime. So the idea is you can, if you like JJK, there's no full JJK card game, but this is a way to like play JJK characters in this Union Arena game. And you can
Gotcha.
play that deck against someone who's playing a Hunter x Hunter deck.
Oh, okay.
So they're coming out with a Yu Yu Hakusho one, and Yu Yu Hakusho is like one of my like classics, big faves,
Yeah.
old school ones. So
100%.
Well,
yeah.
well, your One Piece journey is interesting because, like, obviously, we've done other videos where I had you kind of reacting to anime
Yes.
intros, right? Which we will get to later on this episode.
Yes.
But, like, for the most part, besides classic older anime, you're not really, wouldn't really call you an anime fan.
Like I enjoy and I appreciate what it is. I think my problem is anime sometimes fall into like a trope, and they just like and I'm glad that people like we can just enjoy. Like, you know what, I'm here for the ride. But for me, it's like I value storytelling first, and I think with anime, they rely too much on like, oh, like here's a cool character, here's a cool art. Like I'm like, give me a reason to care. With Luffy, like the reason why I kept going through it, I like the character of Luffy. He's silly. He's, he's like happy-go-lucky, but he's got a good heart. Then they hit you with Zoro, and you're like, oh, okay, he's cool. He's badass. Then they hit you with Usopp, and for a minute, you remember Usopp was my favorite because just how goofy and he lies and all this stuff. And after a while, like then I met Chopper, and I'm like, all right, now that he's mad cute and all this stuff, like that's my favorite now. It's just like they just keep hitting you with characters and storylines that make you keep going, and like now you're in it. Whereas like I would try to watch other animes, like I would watch I tried to watch My Hero Academia, and like it seems so like, okay, young guy who's like figuring out. It just felt like a story I've seen before.
Yeah.
And
stereotypical.
Right.
Shonen.
And I'm glad that people are enjoying it, but I'm like, I need a little bit more to be like, get me in that,
What would you say was your favorite arc of One Piece?
Man,
This is fresh for him because he hasn't even had
Yeah.
time to reflect. Like,
yeah.
how do you even feel
Yeah.
being? This is it. Now you just have to wait till April.
So I always like. So I mean, I really loved Impel Down, but I think Water 7 is my all-time favorite
Okay.
because it's
Not Enies Lobby or Water Seven.
Oh, see, so this is the part that I get confused because sometimes they blend
Yeah.
together for me.
Yeah,
What's the arc where Usopp and Luffy fight?
that's Water,
Water
7.
Seven.
Water 7, then it's Water 7.
Oh,
During that fight, I remember I was like, this is the first time that I'm like, again, I'm an emotional person. I have no problem crying.
The 300s. Remember
Right.
how we always tell you the numbers? Like, this is the point
Oh,
in
yeah,
time
this
where
is- yeah.
it hits. It's like, this is when he gets to the 300s, like the 200, 300. Like,
Uh-huh.
you're like, oh, I get it. now.
Yeah. Like, and I have no problem crying or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
not like ashamed, but like media doesn't usually do that for me. Like,
Mm.
there's only been like 2 or 3 things that got me like emotional. Watching Luffy and Usopp fight about a ship, like I'm just like, nah, like that's hitting me. Like you gonna just like let go of this ship because he's useless. So what about me? I'm useless. You're gonna let me go? And Luffy's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, bro, y'all aren't listening. And then Usopp threw hands.
oh, he locked in.
He locked in. And
He's never fought that
that's
hard
what I'm
against
saying.
anybody.
That's what I'm saying. And to be honest, I'm sad because I feel like Usopp hasn't really like locked in like that.
Yeah.
Ever since.
Ever since.
Damn.
You know?
People want him off the crew.
I know. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
You can't even
don't
fight. You can't
know.
even fight. You're like, oh, we still waiting.
oh,
You still
no,
got hope. You still got
no,
hope.
like I won't even, it's like let go and let God. But like, but I mean, like he had hope, and that in that glimmer, I was like, I saw. You know what? Usopp reminds me a lot of Krillin, and Krillin was my favorite in Dragon Ball.
Same voice actor in English.
Right. That's why,
Oh.
and same thing, right? But the reason why is because like I always loved the underdog. I love the character who's like, I don't got ki like that. I don't got Saiyan blood, but I'm still hanging with y'all. I'm still going toe to toe. Like, yo,
I'm rocking with Mark.
Mark rocking with us.
We don't rehearse these. I promise.
Sure.
We-
like honestly, like in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, Krillin. I don't know if you guys remember, but Krillin meets Raditz. Raditz got that tail, and Krillin's like, "Leave my friends alone." And what does Raditz do? Literally slaps him in the face with his tail into the side of a house.
Krillin own count 1.
Right? And my whole thing is like, yo, you got slapped in the face with a tail into a house. Just stay down. And Krillin's like,
I'm gonna help you, Goku.
right? And I'm just like, nah, like that's the human spirit right there. And that to me is like Usopp. Usopp
Yeah.
is the human soul, right? And that's why I was like, yo, like for a minute, Like he was my favorite because he represented that. He didn't have no special, oh, I got demon blood in me, or I got the sword of, the demon got what. No, it was just a homie with a slingshot and lies.
What I think was
best.
Well, what I think was always makes One Piece powerful for us is like because there is such a huge cast and Oda takes the time to like just flesh out so many characters. It's so easy to find yourself or find motivation from a character. Like there's really no like lack of like I'm not. It's kind of hard to if you can go through all of One Piece and say you didn't connect with anybody.
You're dead inside.
You must be Nosferatu.
Right. But even Nosferatu connected.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I heard he did some. I heard Nosferatu was a sussy boy.
Oh no, 100%.
He's connected though.
So how does it feel to finally just be done now that you just gotta wait? Does it feel fake?
So I don't feel like I'm done.
You're gonna read it?
I'm not gonna read, and the only reason why I'm not gonna read.
Good luck staying away from spoilers.
Yeah. No.
Well, he did his algorithm.
I'm good.
He don't be on TikTok really.
And if I do see it, honestly, even like throughout the show, I would see spoilers all the time, and I'm like. I wouldn't see it, and I would forget. There's so much media right now that like, bro, I will get spoiled about something, and I'll just forget about it.
Your attention span not great.
ADHD gang.
Like right now, my mind's focused on Marvel Rivals. I don't need to like remember all these like spoilers. But the only reason why I don't want to read it is because honestly, I'm liking the anticipation, the ride. I don't want to rush it, and also at the end of the day, like I'm just enjoying what Oda and his team is doing visually, like with the sound, with the music, with the acting, all that stuff. So I'm here for it. So
Danny will never recommend the anime to anybody
for sure.
So he's always read it.
It's okay,
read it.
and I understand where you're coming from because to be honest, like the reading is the purest form. Like in my mind, I think it's like you see the panels, you get your imagination, you can hear it in your voice. For me, like I love the idea that they're like doing it all together. To be honest, what I'm most excited for is the One Piece remake. Because I feel like that's gonna be what the manga is supposed to be like. Right now the anime is like, let's just get it out there for people to get into it who can't read the manga. But like once they do the remake, it's like, nah, this is Oda's true vision.
And your journey wasn't easy. It took you. I mean, it didn't take you that long because there's other people who take way longer than you. You switched between sub and dub. I think you did try a little bit of One Piece. Did you or no?
I honestly I did, but then I was like, I didn't want to
just like the convenience of like turning on your TV.
Just put it on Crunchyroll and like let me rock with it. I honestly would always typically watch subbed, but like because of like just the way life works and I want to be working, I want to be doing stuff, I gotta watch the dub. And I know the dub is like sometimes people be like, oh, that's corny. I kind of like a little bit of that corniness because that's what I grew up with.
Nostalgic, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
I even watched a little bit of the what is that like that children's channel.
Oh, the Four Kids.
The Four Kids. Yo, that was so funny. They gave Sanji a New York like.
He's Joey Wheeler.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Did they really?
He's Joey Wheeler. He has a lollipop.
The lollipop, and I remember that.
Bro,
hilarious.
Four Kids is crazy.
You have the movies to look forward to now, too.
And that's the thing. Now I can watch the movies. Because I didn't want to watch the movies until I got caught up. I'm really excited to see Corey's favorite Uta. I know it's his favorite.
The Uta propaganda has to end.
Sean got him the other day.
Well, that's because Chin is fucking spreading propaganda because they know I don't like this character, and the One Piece card game keeps, and not because I like the movie, I just don't care for the character, and they keep promoting and making more merch of this character, and I'm like, bro, she's in one movie.
It's insane.
Why does she have?
Insane. How
she's
many
almost got as many cards and dolls and figures as Nami.
That's crazy.
And Nami's in the series.
And I've never seen her. I've never seen who Uta is in the entire series. I'm like, I don't know.
You may have seen a picture of this character before. She has half red, half white hair.
She looks cool
with the tits.
Well, they all.
Oh,
I don't know.
She doesn't have.
They all.
It's covered up.
It's covered up
with the orangey.
No,
she has like a jacket on.
The daughter of somebody. Yeah. Shanks. Yeah.
She know a little bit, son. She watched it live.
I watched it live,
but it's okay.
Oh, shut up, bro. I don't care anymore. You already caught up.
Girl.
Yeah. I've seen her.
Also, I know we talking about the show. Saw like was it Vivi? She got the D.
Nefertiti Vivi.
You know about that. Also, they finally let like Emu like talk and stuff.
Now he
I
can
was
just
like,
talk. Now he's like, oh my god, I can talk lore now.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm caught up. I can
Yeah,
just
I'm all
talk
caught
lore.
up.
Save it for
Caught up.
later.
Again, I also need to point
She's
out,
like, enough One Piece.
I'm over it.
Don't worry, you about to be able to cook.
I will say, like, obviously, I've only seen everything like once, so it's not like I can sit here and be like, yeah, so I don't know about the poneglyphs. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm like, you'll be like, yo, so you remember that? And I'm like, honestly,
Yeah.
I forgot.
There's
Like,
a lot when you mention all of that.
right? But like, I like hearing when people are talking about it because then it reminds me, and then I'm like,
Mhm.
wait, that's dope.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, man. You got through something that majority of anime fans have not majority, but a big amount of
No,
anime
a
fans.
majority.
Sure, fine. I don't know what the delta is between how many anime fans have seen One Piece. So
Yeah.
I'll just say a big amount of anime fans would never even try, or let alone have gotten through yet in
Yeah.
less than 2 years.
Yeah.
You know,
And you know, honestly, our reward for watching 1,122 episodes was the 1,123rd episode, the fan episode.
Oh yeah,
That to
buddy.
me is one of the best
we actually
anime
gotta watch that.
episodes. Like, and it's almost like one of those things where, like, honestly, I know you shouldn't watch it if you've never watched One Piece.
They
but
made me.
honestly, watch it. It's so good. It's
It's a
so
10 out
good.
of 10. It's a
Yeah.
10
It's
out
so
of
great.
10.
good. And it finally also, as a One Piece fan, it made me understand what the One Piece is about. Like, I know it's not revealing what the One Piece actually is, but no spoilers. Go watch the episode. You'll get what I'm talking about.
Okay. So I know it may be too soon to ask you this, but is there another anime you would think about hopping onto, that like a newer generation anime that you would think about trying?
Well,
'Cause-
I do think I want to check out Nocturne. That sounds really lit.
well, that don't count. Castlevania Nocturne is
Yeah,
not.
that's not an
Come
anime.
on, guys. Like,
Oh,
this-
okay.
that's
I wasn't
animation
from
by
Japan,
Netflix.
so-
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that's-
Animated.
we're not sitting here calling arcane anime.
I started.
Yeah,
So I
no.
started watching Dragon Ball Daima because I
Okay.
got caught up through.
Well,
Z
that's not
and-
newer generation. You're
Okay,
still
okay,
still
okay.
going towards
Okay,
nostalgia.
that is-
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
a
I mean,
new
I don't really
show.
like Daima, but like,
he's like, it's a new show. He's like, you're cheating now.
okay. To be honest, like, so I really need to watch Demon Slayer. I really need to watch JJK. I've been hearing so many great things about these shows. It's honestly I've watched a few episodes of Demon Slayer, and it really it got me a little bit. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm not watching it through, I get distracted, and then it's hard for me to come back.
Okay.
Because the other thing about anime is like, it's investment. You
Yes.
can't just like, you really can't watch these shows like light.
Yeah.
Except unless they're like comedy shows. But even comedy, like, I watched Zon 100 because it was comedy.
Mhm.
But once I started to need to invest in the story, I'm like, I had to leave.
Yeah.
I loved Food Wars
Love
because
Food
Food
That's 'cause
Wars
you love
is
food.
funny and
Yes.
food and also
etchy.
and right.
Ooh.
But other than that, like, it's tough for me to watch a serious anime show unless I don't get distracted.
I
But
got a great recommendation
open
for
for
you.
them.
If you really liked Food Wars and you like fantasy and all that, I highly recommend Dungeon Meshi.
Okay.
It's super good.
Delicious
it's also
and Dungeon on
Delicious
Netflix.
and Dungeon.
It's
It's on
also not
Netflix.
an
Wait,
anime,
I
though.
heard about that.
Yeah, it's 12 episodes.
Is it an
Sorry.
anime?
Huh?
Is it an anime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
What do you
It
Come
came
on.
out
So
on-
why you keep acting like you don't know?
It came out on Netflix, so I was like, oh.
There's lots of Netflix
Wait, so
animes.
why is Castlevania Nocturne not anime?
Because that's
Made in Japan.
animation, but it's not like
Oh,
it's.
not Jap.
Yeah, it's not Japanese.
animation.
Yeah. What? Like we know what the definition
I don't know,
is.
it's
So why
just
are we
like-
trying to blur the
no,
lines? Like
no.
Avatar now. Avatar's anime.
No. I'm just saying because like when I watched the original, I didn't watch Nocturne, but I know when I watched the original Castlevania, people referred to anime because the style was like, I don't know if it was made in Japan or not. I'm just saying it felt like an anime to me.
I'm sure that it's anime style. You know what I mean? But like
Right.
this thing is like fully like I think
Japanese.
made
Yeah.
Got it.
through like
Got it.
made through like Netflix's kind of production
Got it.
company where
Yeah.
like Delicious and Dungeon is literally like kind of an anime.
All right,
It's
I'm gonna
Food
put that on the
Wars
list.
with fantasy.
Love that.
It's a slice of life with a little bit of action in there that you're just like, yeah, this is fire.
Love
And
it.
it's one of the few animes that I highly recommend to watch in English.
Okay.
So you can do things, but also pay attention, but
Yeah.
also like at the same time you come back, you're like, this is cool. This
Okay.
is cute. Like think of it like that.
To give you all like an idea, like my favorite animes of all time. I don't know if it's like
Wait,
cliche.
you can't tell us because we can't know what you know about for our
Oh,
intros.
True.
Yeah.
Can I just at least say like one?
Okay,
No.
fine.
Well, you already say Yu Yu Hakusho.
Well, no, Yu Yu Hakusho's like fine, but like I want to say my top
They
all
say like that.
favorite. My top all favorite is Cowboy Bebop
Oh yeah.
because
You
again,
just finished that.
right?
I did. I just finished it
So
for the first time.
all the animes that kind of came out then, and also like usually animes with like one season, like that Trigun, like Outlaw Star. Or
He
whatever.
wants
like,
low commitment.
but also style. I love like that style was like unique.
Finesse.
Whereas like you're watching a lot of anime now, and I'm just like, I can't like it feels like the same studios and the same styles and the
I
same,
get that.
and I like a show that looks different. That's why when I want to watch Spy X Family.
Ugh.
He gave up on it. The problem was he went into it thinking it was an adventure anime, but it's actually a slice of life with a little bit of
I didn't say
adventure.
adventure
Got
anime.
it.
I just action.
Well, action. That's what I
Action.
mean.
I thought it was gonna be half
Got
and
it.
half.
So he thought about it in the wrong way. So
It-
now he doesn't
Got
like it because he was like, "This is not what I signed up for."
Got it. Well, I was just saying like because they look different. There was that
Yes.
one that you showed me with like the bears, like the jazzy bears or something.
Hezzy Bears.
No, it's not. It's not
I was
B
like,
Stars. It's not B Stars.
Yeah,
I
wasn't
didn't
it?
think it was.
No.
I didn't
you
think
looked
it
at
was
me crazy.
either. No.
It's Odd Taxi.
Yeah, that
I
one.
love that
Love
show.
That one,
Taxi.
Odd Taxi. Like I
Yes.
want to watch
Never
that
heard of
because again, these are like they look different, they look unique, so that's what like kind of gets me going.
It was.
I'm just glad you watched One Piece because, and I'll say this to anybody: when it comes to an end in God knows how long, it will break the internet.
Yeah.
Like, you'll need to be there. If you're not there when it ends, as somebody who starts it afterwards, I think it's not going to be the same experience. Kind of like, unfortunately, when Game of Thrones came to an end, like
yeah.
everyone like started binging it because they wanted to watch it
Yeah.
when it came to an end, and that's really what's going to be for One Piece. So I think you're coming in at like a great time because
You're right. It reminds me a lot of honestly the Avengers moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we were there in the theaters for Endgame,
Yeah.
and you hear event,
Yeah,
on
you
your
had to
left.
be there.
You had, to be there.
And you had to be.
Opening
You had to
night.
be there for the snap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because like binging that
Yeah.
ain't the same.
It's not
because
the
like think
same.
about it. Like if I like, should I ever be blessed with a child? They won't never have that experience again unless I force them. Like, all right, you're watching Iron Man. Then you're gonna wait 3 years. You're gonna watch Iron Man 2. You're gonna wait, and in 20 years. then you can
Or at
watch-
least just make them wait 1 year before they can watch Endgame. After
But you know what I'm
Infinity
saying?
War.
Like, but you have to like the anticipation of 20 years to watch
Yeah.
the full thing is like you had to be there.
Crazy.
You
Yeah.
can never replicate that again.
we've lived all together collectively. We've lived an interesting life in
Yeah.
regards to entertainment, like the
Yeah.
things we've
Media,
seen over
yeah.
like all of our years. Like,
Yeah.
man, we've just been overloaded, and we're still holding up.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, Marvel, the Twilight series.
We're at a great time of media.
Yeah. But in dark time as well at the
Renaissance.
same time.
Wah.
Because
Yeah.
everybody's attention span is like
Balance.
fucked up. So it's like there's a great time for media, but like people just can't pay attention to shit, so that media is still suffering.
Yeah.
But we won't get too deep into media
And now,
stuff.
now it's just skibbity toilet. I don't even know what that is,
And-
but I just remember
don't
I
need to
watched a
know.
YouTube video about the lore, and I was like,
I don't even care about
We
the
don't
lore.
need to know.
insane.